Welcome back to the Workbench. This is where we talk about ceiling fan history, trivia, and technical information. Today we're going to talk about DINWAY. And it's not a name you hear very much, but they were a huge player in ceiling fans. They were one of the Hong Kong Big Three with SMC, Wingtat, and DINWAY that predate Union and the huge import influx of ceiling fans into the US in the 80s. You might know their fans as DEMCO. That was a name given to the fans by one of the importers, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, but the actual name of the factory is DINWAY. So let's get into it. They were founded in 1949 by Li Yi. By the 1960s, they were making 600 fans a day and primarily exporting them to Africa. In 1970, they incorporated. In the early 70s, William Wallow, a Florida businessman, discovered a DINWAY fan in a neighbor's house in Florida. The fan had been brought over from Hong Kong by an airline pilot as a novelty item. The DINWAY fan rekindled a previous interest in ceiling fans developed by Wallow during a trip to Brazil. Curious about the cost and quality of the DINWAY fan, Wallow contacted Nassim Bashar, a business acquaintance from Chicago, who had a company called Midwest Electronics Importers. He imported electronics, various radios and other small electronics and things from the Far East into Chicago. Bashar agreed to obtain 6 DINWAY fans for Wallow on his next trip. He brought back the 6 fans. Both of them were happy with them. He then brought back 144 fans. They both, again, were happy. And so they both went into the business of selling fans. And in 1973, Gulf Coast Fans was founded using DINWAY fans. In 1975, they signed a contract for DINWAY to become the exclusive supplier of DEMC, DEMCO, and Gulf Coast fans through Midwest Electric. In 1978, Gulf Coast is sold to somebody named Wilmer Barrett. He introduces model names like the Seabreeze and the Showboat. In 1979, DINWAY cannot supply enough fans for Gulf Coast, and Gulf Coast starts approaching other factories. And that's why you see Commander fans that look very similar to the DINWAY and DEMCO fans, because Gulf Coast was taking their designs to other factories and saying, hey, can you make this? We can't get enough of them. If you're curious who made the fan, the easiest way to tell is to look and see if it was made in Hong Kong or Taiwan. Commander was in Taiwan, DINWAY was in Hong Kong. So that's 1979. And that might have something to do with the fact that also in 1979, a ceiling fan store named Dan's Fan City was founded. And they sold, among other things, DINWAY, DEMCO, Gulf Coast fans. In 1982, the DEMCO style spinner with wood blades was patented by Ho Chen Chang, and the patent was filed in the UK. I don't know why. I thought it was interesting. I included it. In 1983, Dan's Fan City buys Gulf Coast to have as their store brand. Now, again, remember there was a contract signed in 1975, and so in 1984, there is a lawsuit between Gulf Coast, Dan's Fan City, Midwest Electric, Wilmer Barrett, all the parties that are still involved. And that's because in 75, the contract stated that DINWAY was to be the exclusive supplier for Gulf Coast fans. But as we know, Wilmer Barrett went to other factories. He sold to Gulf Coast went to other factories, etc. If you want to read the case law on that lawsuit, it is online. If you search any of these terms, it should come up. It's very interesting, but there's a lot of, minutia and technical data, and I believe that contributed to the decline of DINWAY. Because after that, in 2003 is when the DINWAY factory shuts down, and in 2010, DINWAY as a company is dissolved. Okay, well, I hope you've learned something. I certainly did. I didn't know much about DINWAY at all. In fact, I did not even know that was the official factory name for DEMCO fans. It's definitely been an interesting video. We already talked a lot about SMC. We're going to talk a little bit about Wingtat in the future, and that will conclude the Hong Kong Big Three. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, ring all the bells. This video is sponsored by Fanstick. Thanks for watching.